Hi Intune friends! Something that happens to me very often is that I have data from Intune and from another system, and management want the summarize of it. So you need to take some data from one system and some from another. So we're going to do that from Intune, and then I have another file from another system, and we're going to use VLOOKUP in Excel. If you don't know what VLOOKUP is, you definitely should look at this video. If you already know what it is, well, then this video is not for you. Okay, so let's start. So let's say we have this data here. So here are 3 employees here at the GBN. It's very hard to get good people. So I have Tyrone Lannister, Padme Amidala, and Penny Hofstadter. So here's from our HR system, so we can get email, department, which company, which employee type, which phone number, but we don't have primary computer. But that we have in Intune. So how can we get those Intune data into this one? Well, let's start to export it from Intune. So we go to our favorite place, intune.microsoft.com, and I'll already put myself here on devices. So when you come in, it might look something like this. You go devices, then you go all devices. And here you see we have my 3 employees, Penny Hofstadter, Padme Amidala, and Tyrone, and myself. So I'm going to export this list, and we could add more columns and such, what we want, but I'll just need actually primary user UPN and the device name. So I'm going to export this. So we can include all the inventory. Well, I'm going to just say select what's visible here because I have the data. If you needed more data, then you can take all or just add the columns. But for this is perfectly fine. So this is going to be a CSV file, a comma separated value file. And Excel can definitely open that. Okay, so it exported. Sure, we can open the file. So open this, it's comma separated. So now it's going to open a new file. Do a Control A, Control C, and I'm going to go to my other Excel file. I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to call this one just Intune, or we can call it Intune data. Then I'm going to paste it here. So we don't need this one. We can delete it, or actually I'm just going to clear the content. And then I'm going to copy the users, have them first. So now we have the data, we have the user and the device name. So we are pretty good. I didn't want that to be... let's remove hyperlink. So basically what we want is, we want to find Tyrone Lannister and put his machine name here. And we have Tyrone Lannister here, and we have his machine here. And the same for Penny and Padme. So how can we do that? We can obviously just go here, copy the value, go to Tyrone, and paste it. That works, but it's time consuming. Imagine you have 10,000 devices here. That's not the way to go. So let's do this by VLOOKUP, which is the whole purpose of this video. So we put ourselves here where we want the value. So we are on column H and row 6. Then we put up here the formula. So the formula is, you always start with equal, and then we do VLOOKUP, which means a virtual lookup, and we come to that. So we type VLOOKUP, then we start with an open parenthesis. So here it tells us it wants 4 value, lookup value. That's the value we're going to look, and that's the value who has to be the same in both tabs. So we know we have the email address in both. So I'm just going to click here, and it's going to give us the C6 in the formula. So we want VLOOKUP to look at this value. Then where should it compare it to? So if I do a comma here, now it's going to say, where should I look for Tyrone Lannister? Well, we want to look that here in Intune data. So I'm going to click on A all the way to H. So we're going to say, we're going to look everywhere for Tyrone Lannister, which is in value C6. Then comma, what if we find Tyrone Lannister, which we would do here, what should we give back to the column in the GBN sheet? Well, if we put 1 here, we're going to give back Tyrone Lannister. Well, we don't want that. We wanted the machine name. Okay, great. So we put the 2, then we get the machine name back. If we wanted the OS, we would put 3. If we wanted the OS version, we put 4 and so on. You got it. So we put 2 here. Then the last one is how exactly does the match have to be? It's not case sensitive, but on any character. Can it be like John Lannister, or is it approximately match? No, we want an exact match. And then we close this with a closing parenthesis. So if I hit enter now, we should get this value here, GBN win 10 del in the other tab, or sheet I should say. And we do. So I do a little recap here. So first we did VLOOKUP. We look at C6, this value, Tyrone Lannister. Then we say, where should we look at that? Well, in this sheet here, Intune data from A to H. So we go here, A to H. If we find Tyrone Lannister, then we do a VLOOKUP and find, and then say, okay, where should we go? Should we go take the first or second or third value? Well, we say second value, which is this one, and then false because we want it to be the exact match. Now we could rewrite this formula nearly exactly the same, but instead of looking at C6 for Tyrone, we look at C7 for Padme. So we could type it again, but we can also copy this one. So if we put ourselves here in the corner and just drag down, you see here is the formula C6 Intune data AH to false. If we go 1 down, it's exactly the same formula, but it says C7. So here we got the machine name for Tyrone, Padme, and Penny with this VLOOKUP. And again, I have very little data here. So that's basically what I wanted to show. We can do it a bit longer by just showing, let's say we also wanted to know how much free storage they have. Maybe we want to know who needs to buy a new machine. And you see 0 here, it's because it's an Android and Linux and it doesn't report correctly free storage, but for Windows it does. So let's say also free storage. Well, then we do the same. We do equal, VLOOKUP, open. Now I go a bit faster. So we again look Tyrone Lannister because that's the value we have in both tabs or sheets. Then where should we look? Well, we look in Intune data from A to H. And which value do we want? Well, we have to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want the free storage. So let's put the, I said 8, right? And again, we want exact match. And the exact match is for the lookup value and this value that I find here. So let's do false and close this one. So the free storage, let's verify that's correct. 43, this is in megabyte, is it? No. Good question. This is probably 43 gigabyte free. So if we look at the Tyrone Lannister, it is very much that it's free. I just want to see the unit to be sure. It is in gigabyte. So okay, it was in gigabyte. That's not what we saw here, right? No, I think we see it in megabyte. Okay. That makes sense. Yep, it's in megabyte because these have 20. So we have to move the comma 3 here to the left to get it in gigabyte. Well, I'll write that in megabyte. Okay, so we can do, that's maybe not so interesting. It's here, it's interesting to put in megabyte up. Then we can do the same, drag the formula, and we have, it looks for C8, which is Penny Hofstadter. So this was VLOOKUP. It exists HLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, but be sure to manage VLOOKUP first before to go to next. And the formatting here is not so beautiful. That can definitely be fixed also. So this is really useful, the VLOOKUP. Use it all the time. So be sure to learn that. Very useful. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.